Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Your Worth It Show. I am your host, Setra, and thank you for tuning in. As you know, this show is all about inspiring, uplifting, and motivating because you're worth it. Now, you know, I have amazing guests that I bring on this show, and we talk about real topics that's going on every day that people need to hear. And in hopes of that you will hear something on this show that will get you motivated, that will inspire you to just live your best life. You know, life isn't always just so great. But on this show, people come on here and they talk about their challenges, they talk about their triumphs, they talk about great things, but they talking about what's really going on, something that you need to hear. And on this show today, I have an amazing guest here in the studio with me. I have Miss Stay Hall in here with me. So hello, welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. You know, I thank God for social media.
Yes.
Because have I showed up as your top fan on your?
I do see you pop up.
I
do see you pop up, and I am grateful to have you.
Yes, because I see all the amazing things that you are doing. So I am just so honored to have you here in the studio with me because I know that our listeners will be inspired by you.
Wow.
Oh, absolutely. Because, well, why don't you just tell the guests about yourself? Tell us who is Stay Hall?
Oh, wow. So Stay Hall is a lot of different people. And don't take that wrong. Like, it's not the multi-personality type thing, but I just have a lot going on all the time, right? And so what my passion is and what brings me joy is just to help people reach whatever level of success they deserve and desire, whether it is business-wise, personally, whatever it is. I just like to pour into people. I love uplifting people and just helping them find their passion. So that's what I do. So whether it is in writing the books I write or the events that I speak at, the coaching that I do, everything is going to come from a place of uplifting and motivating people just to operate at their highest level. And so that's what I do every day, all day, and I love it.
And we need it. And we need it. I know it's the new year, so everybody is new year, new me. So
Yes.
So how do you feel about when people say that?
Well, it's funny because that's the event I have coming up on Saturday is New Year, New You, mind, body, and business self-care.
Yes.
However, I am not a fan of like the New Year's resolutions, things like that. I'm not a fan of the vision boards on January 1st, right? Mm-hmm. Because I feel like we have the tendency to set ourselves up for failure because we set these unrealistic expectations. Mm-hmm. We just decide all of a sudden that on January 1st, we're going to be a brand new person. Right. No, the New Year and the calendar was something just created to help us keep track of time. But in all reality, when you go from December 31st to January 1st, it's just the next day.
Right.
Like, there's not that much that's going to transpire, and you expect to wake up this brand new person. I made this vision board. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
Right.
And within a week or so, because what did we just, and this was my first year hearing about this, but they have that first or second Friday of the year is considered Quitter's Day.
Oh, you saw
I've
that too?
never heard of that until this year. And I'm like,
Yes.
oh my goodness, but how true is that? And we quit because we set unrealistic expectations of ourselves. And so I just believe that you can still be the same you in the new year.
Right.
Just do something different.
Right.
But why do you want to be a new you?
Right.
And so I think things just become catchy. It's these buzzwords, and it puts too much pressure on people.
Right. Because as you say, it's the very next day. So what's going to dramatically just change all of a sudden? Just you're still the same person. Just do something different. If it didn't work, those last 365 days, like you just adjust.
Right. And it can be small things.
Right.
And so I'm a believer. Like I'm not opposed to vision boards. I have a vision board, and the funny thing about it is I've had the same vision board since 2020.
Okay.
What I do is the things that I have achieved, I take those off and I replace it with something new. But I don't the reason why I just have one is because I don't want to forget what it was that I wanted to do. And I also want to remind myself, and I also give myself the option to change my mind. Because just because there was something I wanted to do the day that I created that vision board doesn't mean I'm still going to want to do that 6 months from now. And so I need to see that and look at it and evaluate and say, do I even still want to do that anymore? And so those things can come off too. And so I just work on the same vision board, taking things off, putting things on, and I don't hold myself hostage to that. And I think that when people create that one vision board and expect to accomplish all these things in 1 year, and you get to March or April and you haven't done them, now you feel like a failure when you really haven't even evaluated to see, is that something you even still want to do? Does that even still make sense for you? Because we talk about a new year just being the next day and a new year, new you, but we change all the time as well. And so the me that created that on January 1st might still not be that same me on June 16th. And so I just feel like we should be constantly evolving and changing and not boxing ourselves into, okay, it's the beginning of the year, I got to do something different.
Right. That is so good. Because you were talking to me. I never thought of it that way. To just use that one board and just take it off once you accomplish it. And if it's something you don't want to do, because I want to go to Hawaii this year.
Right.
But I had it on the board, then you feel like, oh, well, I didn't go. So now you're making a board the next year, and it's just like, just remove it. Just change it.
The thing is about constantly being open to change and evolving, right? Because there's new opportunities, different things happen. And so don't box yourself into that vision board. Use it as a tool, but don't use it as something that's going to keep you hostage.
Keep you, right.
And you just use it to kind of be able to visualize what it is. And then it's like, oh, why did I even put that on there?
Right.
No, I don't want to do that anymore. Or sometimes you try things, right? I had yoga on my vision board.
Did you take it off?
Right? Well, I took it off because I got kicked out of yoga class twice. And so I realized that yoga wasn't for me.
Right.
Like, yoga is real serious.
Oh.
So they're real quiet, and then the names of the positions are really funny. So I kept laughing.
See, that would be me.
And they're like, ma'am. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I am not mature enough for this. So I realized yoga was not my thing.
Right.
So I took it off. Was that a failure? No, I tried something new. It didn't work for me. They didn't want me in yoga. So, so I took yoga off. And then that's when, I decided I started to run. And I enjoyed running. I started training for a marathon. But it took me trying that to realize that it didn't work for me. And so I took it off, but I didn't feel like a failure. I was like, oh, that's just not for me. I don't like yoga. Yoga don't like me.
Right. I'm glad you said it, because I ain't going to like yoga either, because I've been in and laughing. They would have put me out, too.
I was laughing at the names. Then I'm laughing at myself because they're telling me these positions. I'm looking at everybody else looking at them like, I ain't doing what they doing. And it just made me giggle. So I was having fun, but they were like, ma'am.
Too serious.
So, yeah.
If I can't go in there and laugh, nope. So I'm with you. I wouldn't.
Yes.
I don't want it either. So what are you going to be talking about at this event that's coming up Saturday?
So
just give us a little snippet, because we ain't telling it all, because y'all got to be there.
Yes, you got to be there, right? And so Saturday is a wonderful event. We have 12 breakout speakers.
Ooh.
And so, like I said, it's New Year, New You, self-care, mind, body, and business. And so it's geared towards women in business, women in careers, just kind of letting you know that you can't just be focused on your career in business and think it's going to succeed. You need to take care of your mental, and you need to take care of your physical, right? We are a whole being. And so sometimes we put our focus so much on one particular thing and we let the other things go. And so as the keynote speaker, I'm just going to be speaking about, and my topic is called Keep It Cute.
Keep it cute.
Keep it cute. And I'm just going to talk about just kind of bringing all of that together, the mind, body, and the physical, just to kind of tie everything in from the day. But I am an acronym queen, so y'all need to know that CUTE stands for something, but I ain't going to tell y'all what CUTE stands for. But we're going to talk about Keep It Cute.
Right. We're not telling y'all here on the show. Y'all got to come to the event.
You got to be there. Gotta be
and
there.
the event is this Saturday at what time? And where is it
this
at?
Saturday. It's an all-day conference from 8 to 5, and it's at TCU in Fort Worth at the Neely School of Business. And so we will have several dynamic speakers for the breakout sessions. We have a panel discussion. You'll get breakfast, you'll get lunch. We have some amazing swag bags, all of that. So it's going to be a great event. We have women literally coming from all over the country.
Okay. Now, is there tickets in case someone listening and they want to come?
Yes.
Where
so registration online is going to be closing tonight. But you can still come and register at the door and pick your classes at that time. Yeah, we just had to, so we weren't last minute trying to scramble. we're shutting it down tonight
Okay.
online, but you can still come to the door, pay it $60, and that includes your lunch, your breakfast, and the entire conference.
And
So
that's
it's
good.
great.
Just
Yeah.
to be in the room and just just to listen and take
Yes.
notes.
It's gonna be
That's worth
amazing.
it.
We had, there's time built in for networking.
Okay.
And so people will have a chance to network. We have some amazing vendors that are gonna be there. And so this is our second annual. And
Okay.
last year was absolutely amazing. And I expect this one to even top that. So
Oh, wow.
last year was a half day, just to give you an idea.
Okay.
And when we did the surveys, the number one thing people were saying is it wasn't long
it was too
enough.
short.
It wasn't long enough. So we have upped it to a full day, and we've had a great response. So I'm
wow.
excited. I
That-
mean, when I say there are a couple of people landed today, we have people coming in tomorrow. And so it's going to be women from all over coming
All
to
over.
enjoy. So I'm excited about it.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm excited. Just for you just talking about just the things that you're going to be covering on Saturday. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
yes, I need that. I need to hear that.
Yeah.
So, yes, so it's this Saturday, and they can come and pay at the door
Yes.
because registration will be closing. So if you're listening, make sure that you come to the event because we
Yes.
need it.
Yeah,
Us women,
it's
we
gonna
need
be
it.
great. And the thing is, when we talk about self-care, one of the things we take a deep dive into in the conference is self-care just isn't about going shopping, getting a massage. I mean, self-care could be as simple as just sitting in your car for 15 minutes before you go into the office. Just having that quiet time. I was telling my husband yesterday, because I literally work about 18 hours a day, certain times, not all the time, but this
Okay.
is just like a really busy time for me.
Okay.
And so I've been working a lot for the past couple of months. Yesterday, I finished a task and I was headed downstairs because my office is upstairs. I was headed downstairs, and for whatever reason, I just stopped in the loft and just sat down on the couch in the loft in the dark and just sat there and kind of scrolled on TikTok, because I don't do that. I'm not a scroller because I'm on social media a lot because I have to be, right? So I don't scroll a lot. And I sat there yesterday, and next thing I know, it was an hour and a half later. It's just me and TikTok scrolling. But I was so relaxed and had so much fun. I giggled a couple of times. That was self-care for me.
For you, right?
It was self-care because so many people talk about, did you see this on TikTok? Did you see? Because people assume I'm on social media all the time because I'm on social media all
Right.
the time. But I'm like, I don't get to look. And I'm like, TikTok is fun. It made me giggle a couple of times. I
Right.
learned something. I saw a new recipe. But that was self-care for me. And so it can just be the smallest little things
Yeah.
that are self-care.
Just taking that time out. And I think a lot of us, I know for myself, I'm guilty of that, just not taking that time for me.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's like just sitting in the room, just quiet,
That's it.
listening to me. I love to dance. So I'll
Okay.
just throw the music on and,
Yes.
just have that silly time just
Mhm.
for me rather than, okay, what do I have to do next? What's next? What's next?
Yeah.
And being, in business or in a career, we're always, I know my brain is always like, what should I be doing next?
Always.
Even when I go to sleep, I'm like, okay, look, put the phone down, put the
Girl, I
iPad
will
down.
get up at 3:00 in the morning and text myself.
Okay,
To not
to
forget.
not
I'll get a
forget.
thought and I'm like, okay, I can't work right now, but I still got to get up and text it
And
to
do this.
myself just to
Okay.
make sure that I remember to do it in the morning.
To do it.
Like, yeah. So, and that's funny because I talk about it all the time. But of course, sometimes the teacher needs to be the student because I
okay.
can tell everybody how to take care of themselves and you need to do this, this, and this. But
That's
I
me.
realize I'm not doing any of those things myself. So we need that. We need that.
Oh gosh, that is so me. I don't know who it was, but I saw a YouTube. It was on YouTube. This business person, and he was just like, "Oh, well, you need to set your alarm to 5 a.m. because if you're sleeping past 5 a.m., you're wasting the day." I'm like, "Who said that?" But all business people should be up at 5 a.m. working on, what they're going to do for the day.
Yeah, no, that is such a myth. I don't understand that. And they say the early bird gets the
Early,
worm.
right?
Well,
right.
first of all, the world is ever changing. We're not living in the same world where that mattered. It's just not the case anymore. And we need rest. Like, I truly believe in getting up unless I have something that I have to do at a certain time. And I'm a pretty early riser anyway. But I believe in getting up when my body wakes up.
Okay.
And I'm not a big sleeper, but it's like, whether that's 4 hours or 8 hours, whatever that is for you, I don't like being snatched out of my sleep. What do I need? A blaring alarm at 5:00 in the morning, and then you just get ticked off.
You
your body,
mad?
it's like, no. And I know everybody doesn't have that option because you
Right.
have to go to
Go to
work or
work.
whatever.
Yeah.
But to say that you can't be successful unless you do that,
I
because
know.
what's your mindset? Now you mad all day.
All day because I'm up at 5 in the morning. I'm like,
Right.
I'm like 5.
Mm-mm.
If he said
No, that is
6,
such
I
a
was.
myth because I am the most productive at night.
Yeah.
I get a lot done at night, and
Okay.
people will have no idea that email that you got at 8 o'clock in the morning, I really wrote it at 2 o'clock in the morning. But I
Okay.
am mindful of other people's time, so
Right.
I'll schedule it to go out at
To
eight
go
o'clock.
out.
But more than
Okay.
likely, I wrote it in the middle of the night because that's when I'm most productive, right? If I get up and you want me to do something at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, it's probably not going to be my best.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not a morning person either.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Don't ask me to
Yeah.
do nothing in the morning.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah. So, I know we talked about the event that's coming up, but you're
Mhm.
also an author.
I
You have a new
am.
book that came out. Well, I know you have other books, but you have a
Yes.
new one that just came out.
And this is my baby, right?
It's
This
your
is
baby?
my baby.
Yes.
And so this is book number 4,
Number
and
4.
it is Dispelling the Myth of the Angry Black Woman.
Oh, I
And
saw
then the
that.
subtitle is We Are Not Angry, We're Mad, which stands for Misunderstood, Accused, and Devalued. And
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah, this
That
is my
is
baby.
good. So tell us a little bit about the book because they have to go and
Absolutely.
buy it. But
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes. So the book stemmed from a lot of experiences that I've had in my life that I'm sure a lot of other Black
Yeah,
women
that we're
have
mad.
had. Yes, all the time. We're upset. Why are you
Angry.
so angry? Why is it so hard to? I don't want to even ask you anything. And that's not the case. And the thing that gets me even more is anger is a real, true emotion that everyone in the world is allowed to have except for Black women. Because the thing is, if I am angry, why is that
Why?
a problem?
Right.
But we get accused of being angry so much. So I wrote the book to be a support, of course, for Black women and to let them know you're not alone. A lot of us, most of us, have those same experiences and encounters with people and those same perceptions of us.
Right.
But I mostly wrote it to be education for
Right.
anyone who would be interested in learning more about the Black woman and why we may be angry.
Right.
And the things that we deal with day in and day out that have spanned centuries, right? And so I want it to be, it's not pointing the finger, it's not a blame at anyone. It's just something where I just want people to understand us a little bit more. And so I speak in the book about our relationships with women who are not Black. I speak about our relationships with Black men. I speak with our relationships with our mothers and just the things that we've dealt with for so long. And I speak about the fact that how some of us may appear standoffish only because we know if we show our true personalities, then we can be looked at as angry or loud or aggressive or ghetto or whatever. So we just decide I'm just not going to say anything. And so then you don't say anything. Then it's like, why are you so mean? Why are you so standoffish? So I touch on all things. Yeah, the book was just picked up for a book club on TikTok, which was national, and they had their first meeting on Sunday. And I know a couple of people who were in the meeting, and it was definitely a diverse group of women having an open, honest dialogue. And it was amazing just to hear, you know, women who aren't Black asking questions. And actually, the podcast it was on is called Ask a Black Woman. And so the whole foundation of that is, just ask us. Don't assume,
Right.
just ask us. And so it was really great, but this is my
baby.
baby.
And
This
right,
is
because you
my
say just
baby.
ask us because they just assume.
Yes, so many things are assumed, and we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders sometimes. One of my biggest pet peeves is, you know, when dating or just, you know, being a single woman, and he was guilty of it, my husband, and I'm pointing, y'all don't see him, he over there. But one of the first things he ever said to me when we met is, smile. Why ain't you smile? I hate that.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
And thank you, Lord, he's still here. But that was like one of the first things he said to me.
Yeah.
Why are you not smiling? And it's not because I'm angry. It's not because I'm upset. But if you knew, it's because I have 9 million other things on my mind. So it's very difficult sometimes for a Black woman just to be present, right? We have so many other things going on, so many things that we're thinking about. It's hard to just be sitting somewhere smiling. And I'm not upset. I'm not angry, but I got 9 million things going on. But people say, you never smile. You're so mean. I'm not. How about just ask me, are you okay?
Right. Yeah.
You know?
That's it. It's just that easy.
Yeah.
But they don't.
They don't, because guess what else goes along with it? We're mean, and then we're also strong, which I hate that word. So
Oh, wow.
nobody ever asks us how we're doing, right? Because we're strong.
Right.
I don't want to be strong.
Oh, gosh.
I just want to
Say
ball
that
up in a
again.
corner somewhere, rock back and forth, and cry.
Oh, gosh.
I'm tired of being strong.
Strong. Exactly.
I don't like that. I don't like strong. I don't like resilient, because it's almost like it's something that we're forced to
To
do,
do.
and you shouldn't have
To
to.
do. Like, I don't want to. I don't want
Yeah. You're so independent. What choice do I
Right. I
have?
don't want to be.
Yeah. And so that's something I talk about a lot of times too, as far as the word submissive. It used
Oh,
to be a word that I hated. Like, I'm not, but I realized how wonderful that I love now. I
right.
am
Okay.
a submissive wife. And it is the best position I have ever held, because guess what? That means I
You
don't
don't have
have
to
to
do
carry
it.
it all.
Right.
It is just like, oh, okay, babe.
Right. You can handle
Let me-
this. You want to look, take this off my shoulder.
Yes, I
Yes.
love it. And when you're with the right person, which I'm going off on a different
That's
tangent,
good.
it doesn't feel like that,
Right.
So when you have somebody who loves you and supports you and respects you, the submissive part really,
It's automatic. Come
yeah,
on.
and it's
good.
not a big
It's
deal
not a big
at all. And
deal.
the
Right.
best thing about it, and I hope he ain't listening, when stuff go wrong, it's his fault.
Right. Right.
It's you're
It's his fault.
it ain't never my fault. So
Right.
yeah, but that's the book kind of takes a deep dive into all of that.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you was talking about your husband because you
Yes.
have a YouTube
Yes,
show.
yes,
So
we
yeah.
do.
So tell us about your YouTube channel.
Yeah, so the YouTube channel I have with my husband is called The Hallway,
The
and it's just a
Hallway.
play on our last name. Our last name is Hall.
Okay.
And it is a YouTube channel where we talk about couples things. So
Okay.
we just is to help people thrive as a couple, help introduce them to some of the crucial conversations that need to be had during dating. So we say, even though we talk to couples, our favorite group are the single people who desire to one day be
Okay.
a part of a healthy relationship. But, couples are great too. But we just like to help develop people into being ready
Right.
for courtship and marriage and things like that. And so we just talk about, communication. We are both soft skills and emotional intelligence experts.
Oh,
And we have a business where we do a lot of that in corporate America. But what we realize is a lot of those same soft skills and emotional intelligence things that you need in business are the exact same things you need in a healthy relationship. You need to have conflict resolution, active listening, effective communication, team building, all of those things. And so we were teaching them in corporate America for years and realized these are the same things that you need in a relationship. And so that's what we talk about a lot on our channel and in our book, The Hallway.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you said it's for the single people because I'm doing a series about single and dating. So
Okay.
we come on here, we talk about our experiences on being single and all that. So
Yeah.
every time they come on here, I'm like, y'all make sure y'all subscribe.
Yes. Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel because we need some help out here.
Yeah, I think we make dating way more difficult than it needs to be.
Really?
Yeah, it's not.
It's not
we
that hard.
overthink it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I
Overthink
might have to. Y'all do coaching because I might have
We
to.
do. We do couples coaching and individual coaching.
Okay, I need
Yeah.
individual because I just be saying like, why is it so hard out here?
Yeah. We got to ditch the list, open our
Ditch
minds.
the
Yeah, it's
list.
a whole,
It's a
ditch the
whole-
list is a whole talk that I
Ditch
do.
the
Ditch
list.
the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they can look to get your consulting. They can go to your website.
Yes, stayhall.com. Everything is on that
Everything.
web. All, to get the consulting, the coaching, the books, everything is at
Everything is
stayhall.com.
and then the YouTube channel. What is it? Is it the hallway?
The Hallway is the one we do together, and then I have mine by myself, which is Stay Hall. So if you just go anywhere and put at Stay Hall, everything will pop up because I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all the things.
What do you talk about on your YouTube channel?
A lot of the same things. I do some vlogging,
Okay.
but mostly I talk about, just everyday things. One of my other acronyms, which my first book, Running for Your Life, LYFE, Love
Okay.
Yourself First Explicitly. So I talk a lot about self-love, the importance of self-love, and just talk about the things that just to help you live at your highest level. And again, I just love to pour into people. One of, my quotes is, I just want to be that somebody to somebody that I wish somebody could have been for me. Because it took me so long to have self-love. I grew up feeling like the ugly duckling. I grew up, struggling with my self-worth and things like that. And it wasn't until I was about 40 that the light bulb went out. and, or went on and I realized I have a lot to offer. Like
Mm-hmm.
I am worthy. I do add value. And once I realized that, and then I realized that I wasn't alone, I just made it my life's business to be able to give that message to as many people as I could, both men and women, because
Right.
I didn't want to see anybody else waste that much of their life doubting
Right.
themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like, because once you have that true self-love, then that's what opens you up to be able to receive true love. That's
Mm-hmm.
what opens you up to be able to give true love. That's what lets you be able to have a full cup, give from the overflow. Like self-love is so important, and people will look at it as if it's selfish or it's overindulgent. But no, it's like if you really want the true best me, then
Right.
you want me to put myself first.
Right.
Because only if I put myself first will I be able to give you the best of me.
Right.
So, yeah, so that's
That is
what we talk
so
about.
true. Because when you were just saying that, that's how, I felt growing up,
Mm-hmm.
just, not worthy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thinking the ugly duckling, And then I had a bad marriage. It ended up in a very bad divorce where my
Okay.
ex-husband tried to kill me.
Oh, gosh. I had the
And
same experience.
and that's how, Your Worth It got started for me,
Mm-hmm.
sharing my story about
Okay.
that. And like you say, with self-worth, a lot of us, I know I didn't know mine, and then I start sharing my story. And then I was just like, okay, well, it's for me to help others.
Yes.
And I
That's what
held it
makes it all
in
make sense,
for a
right?
long time because, this happened back when I was in Michigan. So when I moved to Texas, I was like, don't nobody know me. I ain't going to tell nobody
Right.
nothing. I came here, had businesses, doing good, didn't tell them. And then God was just like, nope, you're going to start sharing your story. And then that's how, Your Worth It was birthed. But it was
love
because
that.
the self-worth. And that's so important.
It
And
is.
we need to, tell that person, that, you're worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you say, be that somebody. Say that again, because I definitely don't want to mess up. Because it was so
I want
good.
to be that somebody to somebody that I wish somebody would have been for me.
And that right there hit right in the heart for me. Because I didn't have that somebody
Yeah.
to tell me, Setra, you're okay, you good. You
Yes.
good, girl.
Yes. And that's so important. It's so
Yeah.
important. But yeah, I felt the same way. I grew up always comparing myself to other people. I always tell people I grew up in the pretty family. And so it was like everybody just looked exactly what the picture perfect was for that time. And so I always doubted myself, but I didn't have anyone saying, you're fine.
You're
It's fine.
beautiful.
Thank
Right.
you. It's so funny. And now it's my husband can attest to this. I'll look at old pictures
It is.
now and I'll be like, I was so cute.
You was so pretty.
And I'm like, what's wrong with me? But it's just it's what's in your
In your
head.
head. Yeah.
And so I mean, I've been this height. You see, I'm tall.
Mm.
I've been this height since I was in 6th grade.
Mhm.
And so that was a big thing. I wanted to be short so bad.
Oh,
And
now look, now the short people want to be tall.
right. Had these same size lips since I was born.
Now
the
people
pouty
look.
lips. And
Now
my
people
grandmother
paying
told me
for 'em.
that. My grandmother was the one person who she was like, you worried about the wrong things. She was like, everything that you dislike about yourself are going to be your strongest attributes when you get to be older. And she was my hair, I had kinky hair. All my cousins, my sister, everybody had the silky, what they call good hair back in the day. My grandmother was like, that thin hair be falling out. You're going to have a nice, healthy hair for the rest she used to always tell me, but I
Right.
thought about it. And I'm like, she was so
She was
right.
right. I know. Listen to those
She
grandmamas.
was so right. Yeah, but I struggled. I struggled a long time. But, but I realized, to your point, that what made it all make sense for me was when I had the courage to start sharing. And I'm like, that's why I went through that. Because everybody doesn't have the courage to share. But once I had the courage to share and I started writing books and I started speaking and I started coaching, I'm like, it was all worth it.
Yeah.
I'm like, because they were waiting on me to come
yeah.
through mine so I could help them get
Help
through
them.
theirs. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, so I'm good. I don't worry about any of that. I'm grateful for the things that I
Yeah.
went through because there's a purpose for
Yeah.
it.
Because it's helping someone else.
Yes, and it brings me so much joy. I mean, that's my love language anyway, is gifts. So anything I can give
Oh my
to
gosh, I
somebody.
think we're related. Like
We
that's
must
not-
be. Yeah, I
Everything
love
you saying,
it.
look, I don't want to be a me too.
But I'm just saying, when you were saying
Yes.
stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, that happened to me. But yeah, so I love
Yeah.
gifts, like anything I can give to anybody. It just makes me so happy. So whether it's an actual physical gift or
Mhm.
if it's just the gift of sharing, whatever it is,
Yes.
it just makes me happy. Like I love when people are open to receiving from me. It's just like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm so happy. I'm
Yes.
so happy. So yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and it's all about just sharing, and I think a lot of that we try to hold in. "Oh, well,
Hmm.
I don't want nobody to know," or,
Yeah.
but then when you do, it's just like, "This is why," because I was
Hmm.
just like, "Is this what I had to go through?"
I
But
know.
now when I share it, I'm like, "Oh, okay, I had to go through that to help that person that said thank you to
Hmm.
me."
Hmm.
"Thank you, I'm glad because you've helped me do this."
Yes. And the thing is, I don't know if you experienced it, but once you get out of it for yourself, like you
Mm.
said, you moved and I ended up moving too. I
Mhm.
left Pittsburgh, I moved to Virginia Beach, and I'm a brand new person. Same kind of mindset. Like they don't know me. I'm going to do this.
Uh-huh.
And then you feel like, I'm reaching this success, I'm doing well. And so you kind of get ashamed of your story. You don't want
Right,
anybody to
yeah.
know. And then you realize, but that is such a triumph. Like, how can I hold that in? Like,
Mhm.
I gotta tell somebody what I came from and whatever. And
Yes.
it just ends up being such a part of your story. And
Yeah.
so that's what made me start sharing. Cause I'm like, as much as I like to help, it's also like, girl, you did that. You better go
Right.
ahead and give yourself
Yes.
credit for that. Like, you're a survivor. And
Yes.
so I got to the point where you couldn't shut me up because I went from I didn't want to tell anybody anything, like, like I just got dropped off from Mars. I don't know where I'm from. I don't know anybody until I couldn't stop telling people.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so it was such a help because everybody doesn't have that courage. And so
Mhm.
those of us who have the courage, we need to help
Yeah.
those who don't have the voice.
Right. And then it may encourage them to
Hmm.
share their story. Because I always say
Absolutely.
everybody has a story.
Everybody.
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 Just use it so that you're inspiring the next person,
Hmm.
so that they can look at you and they be like, oh, Stay went through that. Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Exactly.
Oh, she thought she was ugly. Look at her. She's beautiful.
Hmm.
So we are doing things to the people behind us. They could say, wow.
Yes.
Because when I tell people, they be like, I didn't know you went through that. I be like, girl, look, let me tell you.
Yes, and I love it because people get so surprised,
Like,
and that's the thing. Whenever I'm in somebody's presence or whatever, and I can hear, they give me compliments or they'll say
yes.
things like, "Oh my gosh, I want to be just like you," and "Oh, you're so." That's when I'm like, "Okay, let me tell you how this started."
Right. Okay.
Because I don't want you to feel like this is
This
something
is
unobtainable. Like I'm Theo Huxtable regular. I say that all the time. I'm a regular
right.
person, and this is what I've been through. These are the things that have
Yes.
happened to me. These are my experiences. So while you're looking up to me and thinking it's going to take,
Mm-mm.
just keep living, just keep being
Mm-hmm.
positive, have that mindset because I didn't wake up like this.
Okay.
It's taken some work, it's taken some trials and
Yeah.
tribulations. So don't put me so far up where you think
Mm.
you can't reach that. I'm like, because you can
Oh,
do it. If I could do it, you can
yeah,
do it,
because that's they do. They look, oh, where you wrote books. Oh, you're a coach. You're a speaker. You this. You be like,
Yes.
do you know what it took to get here? Do you
Yes.
really want to know? You
Yeah.
really want to know. So
Yeah.
yes.
You can do it.
Okay, yes. So I know, so you have other events that's coming up as well, right? I know the event that's coming
Yes.
up Saturday. What else you have going on?
So in February, on February 22nd, I am the co-chair for the third annual Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce. That's a mouthful.
Okay.
Sneaker Ball.
Ooh.
And so it is an awesome event. We have it at Dickies Arena in Fort
Oh,
Worth.
so it's gonna be
And
big.
yes, it's probably going to be anywhere between 500 to 700 people. We do some awards there. It's just a fun time. So we have live music. It's not one of those galas where it's just going to be a lot of speaking or whatever. We have a
Okay.
good time. We have a cocktail hour in the beginning. We'll have a live band there, a DJ there, and it's just a really good time. And so it is on the website as well for the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber. So you would just go to
Okay.
fwmbcc.org and you can find out all the information. But I have a great time. I co-chair it with my good girlfriend, Monique Winfrey, who is also from
Oh,
Michigan.
okay. I know
So
Monique.
yeah, Monique
Okay.
is a good time. I
Yes.
love her. And
Okay.
so we've been doing it together for 3 years. And so super excited about that February 22nd.
Oh, Okay, well, I need to look into the Fort Worth Chamber. I've never been to any of
Yeah,
their
I sit on the
events.
board for the chamber, and I'm the chairman of the women's division. And so, yeah, we do a
The Fort
lot.
Worth, okay,
Yeah.
let me come on over to that side.
Yes, come on over. We have a celebration of music that's going to be in February as well. February, we try to do a lot for Black History Month and things like that. So all of
Okay.
that information is on their website. But we're very active over there in Fort
Over there
Worth.
for, okay, look, they
Yes.
not going to kick me out because I'm all the way over here on the north side.
No, 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 no. We have people from Dallas,
From all
even.
over?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
anywhere in Texas, because we
Anywhere you
also
could
have
join.
members like in Austin and Houston.
Okay.
So, who come in for the events. We have an annual luncheon that I just chaired in
Okay.
June, and we had about 1,000 people there from
Oh,
all over. Magic Johnson spoke at one of our luncheons a
okay.
few years ago. So the luncheon is probably our biggest event of the year every
Okay.
June. But I would say the sneaker ball is
Did
probably
you?
the most
Well,
fun.
I'm gonna go to their website because I
Yeah.
love it when because there be a lot of chambers, especially here in the DFW areas. It's like a chamber in every little city, but they're
Hmm.
not really active. They're not doing a lot. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, I want to get in one that's really doing something.
Yeah.
That's really having events. That's really doing stuff in the community. That's really
Hmm.
like you say, the networking events and things like that. Like. Don't just say, you're a chamber just to say it, but you're not doing
Right.
anything.
Yeah, no, we are super active. We just had a really nice Christmas party in December. And
Okay.
it's always fun because the Christmas party always falls on the week of my birthday. I'm a December baby.
Okay.
So we always go to the chamber Christmas party and then we go after to the Stays birthday party after
Okay.
party. So that
Okay.
has just become a thing for the last couple of years.
Okay.
But the Christmas party is always a good time. And we do a lot of things to give back to the community. So yeah, I
Okay.
love being a part of the chamber.
And that's important too.
Yeah.
Just being a part of something that's actually doing something within the community.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a big deal. So I just wanted to just thank you for coming on. I mean, oh my gosh, we just been talking. I so much more I want to talk about. So I got to
know, it's
invite
been
you
great.
to come back on.
Oh,
So
please do.
yes, because it's so much. Because I want you to dig deep into your story and tell us
Okay.
more about Stay Hall.
Yeah, I would love to. I am an open book. I
Yes.
am. I
Yeah.
am.
Tell our
Yes.
listeners how they can get your books.
Yes. So my books can be purchased. Most of them are already global distribution where you
Okay.
could go to Barnes and Nobles, Walmart. But the newest book I have not released for global distribution yet, but you
Okay.
can get your signed copy at stayhall.com, which is
Okay.
STAEHALL.com. And that's where everything Stay lives at that website. So you can find links to my YouTube channel, my TikTok. All
Okay.
of that is on the website as well.
And we'll put that on our social media platforms
Okay,
and
great.
on here as well. And about your YouTube channel. So tell us about that too.
Yes, so the YouTube channels I have two. So one is Stay Hall, and I do vlogging on there. I talk a lot about self-love. It's a hodgepodge of all things Stay Hall.
Okay.
And then I also have The Hallway, which is with my husband, and that's where we talk more about soft skills and emotional intelligence for couples.
So,
And
yeah.
singles
And
who want to be a part of a thriving. I can't emphasize that enough. Like couples are great, but I need these singles so that we can get you prepared to be in a relationship so it'll be a healthy, lasting
Right. So
relationship.
that's good. I may bring you and your husband back
Oh,
on so
yeah, we
y'all
would
can
love
talk
that.
about that. Maybe I'll bring some singles on here too and can help us out.
Okay, I would love it. I would love it because, yeah, that's our target audience. It's like we're a couple and things are for couples, but it's about the singles to prepare because, again, how many of us really got prepared, to be in a relationship or whatever? And a lot of us, unfortunately, didn't have those healthy role models to look at. We may be products from a divorce or, whatever. And so that's the thing. What do they say? Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And so that's what I talk about. If you're single and you want to be a part of a healthy relationship, then start getting ready now before
Right.
you even find that person.
Right.
Get, again, about the self-love. Get
Right.
yourself right so that when you go into the relationship, you're going into a relationship as a whole person. Like I hate when I hear people say, like, I just want to find somebody who'll make me happy. Well, therein lies the problem.
Right. How they gonna make you
That's
right? You're not.
impossible. You need to be happy first, and what you want somebody to do is to share in your happiness. And so those are the kind of things we talk about.
That's good. Now, do you all have guests on your YouTube channel, or you just talk and just give it?
We go live
Oh, you go live.
sometimes,
Okay.
and we bring people up on the
Okay.
panel. So we do. it's kind of hard to stick to a regular schedule every
Right.
single time we say, oh, we're going to go live every Saturday at 12. Then the next thing you know, the next 3 Saturdays, I got a speaking event. But we do a lot of pop-up
Right.
lives, and we
Okay.
put questions out there and invite people up to
Okay.
the panel.
So y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel because it's
Yes.
something that when we talk about, even on this show, relationships, it's like I get like 1,000 comments, and I'm like, but I want them to hear it from the experts. I want them to hear it from
Yeah,
you.
well, we
Don't
we
listen to
live
me because
for
look,
it.
make me listen to me. I'll be like, look, y'all know, look, y'all really want to hear from me.
And that's the thing, though. It can happen. I mean, both of us have been married before.
Okay.
And so I think that's a part of what makes it work so well
Mhm.
because we got married, we were 40.
Okay.
And so we had been through some things. We
Right.
had raised kids. We both knew. And you have to look at both sides. We both knew what didn't work in our past relationships, but we knew what didn't work that was our fault as well as the other
Right.
person's fault. So we had those questions for each other in the very beginning. And we were friends first.
Okay.
So that's I mean, I could go on and on about that. But it's just a lot. But you have to know who you are and be real honest about that and not expect somebody else to come in and just fit in your mess. You can't do that.
Ooh, so that's good. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe.
Yes.
to the YouTube channel. Well, I just want to just thank you so much for, coming on here.
Absolutely.
Yes, like I said, I'm gonna invite you back so we can talk so
Invitation
much more.
accepted.
Yes. So, the name of this show is called You're Worth It.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to ask you the question, and that is, what are you worth?
I am worth my weight in gold and then some. I can't even put a quantity on how much I'm worth because the fact that I'm here, I know that I'm here for a purpose and that's worth everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you're absolutely right. And I just tell guests, I'm like, it's that easy.
Yeah, it's that
because
easy.
it's whatever it is that you believe. It's
Mhm.
what you tell yourself. It's
Yeah.
not what other people say. It's what you tell yourself. So if you said I'm worth whatever you would have said, I would say you're absolutely right.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
you have to believe it because you are worth it.
Mm-hmm. And you are too.
Thank
sis.
you. Well, I just want to thank you again for being on here and just, have fun at the event this Saturday.
Oh, I will. I'm so excited. I was on a phone call on the way over here, and somebody was like, Tara just called. She just landed in Dallas, Fort Worth. And I'm like, oh my
Yes,
gosh. So I am super, super excited. And thank you so much for having me.
Oh.
This has been a blast. I've enjoyed it immensely.
Well, thank you. So, listeners, make sure that you like, subscribe, go to the channels. I'm going to put all the links on our website as well. If you're here in the DFW area this Saturday, make sure you go to the event because you cannot purchase the tickets online, but you definitely want to be in the building. And make sure you
Yes.
go to stayhall.com and get her books for sure, and see what events that she have coming up next. So I just want to say thank you so much here at the You're Worth It show. As you know, I bring real people. We have real conversations talking about real topics, hoping that it will inspire you to just live your best life on purpose because you're worth it. Thank you.